Welcome everyone to Raw Sport. My name is Ahmed Al Hooli. We're back with another huge show. Another special guest, the man himself, Mr. Ricky Colisimo. Ricky, how you going, buddy? How's things?
I'm good, man. Very busy. Just we got our show in a few days, so just doing all the final prep for that, which is it's been hectic, but really good.
Ricky, it's been a long time since me and you had a bit of a chat. A lot's happened since we last spoke. You've been around the world. We saw you at the WBC convention. Um, take me through that. What was the purpose of the visit? What you learned? What you saw? Who you mixed with?
So pretty much the idea why we went there was we got invited, number one, but it was more because we're trying to build our network, and we said, there's going to be many champions over there, many different promotions, many matchmakers, and then of course all the guys from the WBC, Mauricio Suleiman, and that. So we, as a little team, there was four of us. We all went over there, and mate, we had an amazing. It was only a short trip, 5 days, but the amount of networking that we did over there, meeting and mingling with all the champions. Then I end up I met Mauricio on the first night. Billy Dibb actually introduced me to him, and so I just said to him straight away. I said, "Mate, we're going to be doing a bit of work together in the future." And it was so then I saw him the next night. I think it was the night after at the cocktail party, and we started speaking in depth a little bit more. And he said to his mate or his helper, he said, organise a meeting with this guy. So we ended up having just me and him have a sit down 1-on-one the next day, and then yeah, just talking about planning for the future and different things. And he was very excited. So I shared a little bit about Wonder and what we're doing, and he's keen to collab. So we've got some exciting things in the works with the WBC.
So we're going to be seeing more of the WBC titles in this part of the world.
100%. So we're actually working on a few different things. I can't really say everything right now, but if we get these things done, it's going to bring a lot of attention to the Australian boxing public, and really sort of establish us as one of the main hubs for developing the good fighters, and people coming to our fights and from around the world, and actually putting on amazing fights, which is exciting.
Wow, it's huge.
Mm.
What was the biggest eye opener from being around the industry, the champions, the big names?
Oh, mate, it was amazing. Like the one of the nights we're just there, we were chatting with Katie Taylor, Usyk, Devin Haney, and you were just mingling. Prince Nassim, like walking around the room, just shaking hands. Eric Morales, like so many champions. And what the biggest learning for me was like they're actually quite humble people when you speak to them 1-on-one. And then it was like we're at that level in terms of our promotion. Like we actually there was a lot of people that recognized from our promotion, said, we love your work. Then different people were, when we were meeting them, they're from different parts of the world, they were looking us up, and then you could see the way they were interacting us there over the next couple of days was completely different. So it was great for our team and really establishing ourselves and off here in the southern hemisphere, which is super exciting.
Do these big names know much about boxing in Australia?
Well, the big no, like obviously the main thing what people have their perception of in terms of Australian boxers in general is that we're very tough, we're very come forward fighters, but they don't see they haven't seen just the pool of talent that we actually have. Because I truly believe that Australian sports people, like we are punching far above our weight in all sports. Like you have a look at us, we're only 25 odd million people, and the sports people that we put out is amazing. So I think it's even the same with the boxing. Like we haven't had the like we've obviously No Limit is a great platform, but other platforms coming through, like it's if we get that spotlight for these fighters, it's really going to show the whole level, and not only increase the fight numbers of the fighters, but just show us at a higher level, because we're creating the opportunities for these guys to really grow and establish themselves.
Who'd you who'd you warm up to the most there, Ricky? Who'd you sort of get along with the most there?
Oh well, me and Mauricio we've become very very friendly. So I saw him every day. We had a chat every day, and he even saw Monique, and he said, you're going to become the biggest sports presenter in the WBC. That's what he said. So obviously he was taking a good look at us and saying what we we're doing. So he was great, but like it was great to spend time with Billy. Great to different people like that, Jeff, etc. Like it was a good time. Everyone that was there to enjoy it, and mate, it was fun. Like we had a ball over there. It was so good.
Speaking of Australian boxing, it was recently announced Matchroom is going to be coming to Australia, I believe, with 7 shows of their own on Fox. What does that do to the local industry?
Oh mate, I like my view on it is it's going to bring more eyes to the Australian boxing public. So whether it's competition, controversy, whatever it is, I think it's going to be good because Eddie Hearn does have a global platform, and he's obviously going to be promoting through Matchroom, which is going to go to the countries overseas. So I think Australia's biggest downfall is that we're so far and away from every other country, and we're separated. So we've got in our own little secluded area here. But like guys like Eddie Hearn bringing that to the world stage, amazing. And I think even I've seen some stuff about them and getting no limit sort of competing. I think competition's good for everyone. And I don't even look at it as competition. If there's more people with eyes on the sport is going to grow. And I think the whole instead of getting a bigger piece of the pie, the whole pie grows.
Yeah, I mean it's an opportunity for our guys to finally be seen by everyone, and it might actually start building profiles a lot earlier before they get to that international stage, which really improves the sport here. I mean, it brings eyes and ears that we never had before. Do
Mate,
you tend to agree with
100%.
that? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, mate, 100%. I feel like that. It's definitely going to help the fighters. I don't think it's not a bad thing at all. So I think it's good for Australian boxing for sure.
Ricky, you've got a massive night coming up. Um, an event that you've had to move into a bigger venue. Take us through the night on February 26th. No Mercy. Um, why did you move?
It was a funny story. So we actually had an issue with our other venue, and so we couldn't host the event there. And it was like, so that day it was literally Thursday, 3 weeks before the show. So it was just over 2 weeks ago now, and our team, we had four of us, were calling around to all the big venues in Sydney, like the Horton Pavilions, Star, etc. And the Star was the only one that was available that could take us on. And so it was like we said as a team, we had a meeting, and it was a big thing because it's like doing that at the Star is a huge commitment, right? And I said to our team, I said we have a couple of options. I said we can either change the date of the show and move it and find a like equal or lesser venue, or we could step up and do it at the Star. So I said to the team, I said, if we are about what we say we are, then we have to step up and do this. We all said, yeah, let's do it. And for the last 2.5 weeks, we've been meeting every day at 6:30, doing our team meetings. There's five of us in the meetings, and we've just been smashing out of the work, getting everything prepped. And it's been a lot of work, mate, but it's come together, and I feel like we're going to deliver a world class show with a different touch to most Australian boxing promotions. So, going to be very exciting, and I can't wait to showcase it.
When you say step up, what do you mean by that? Why the extra effort?
Well, so you gotta understand. So, because our other venue, we've done everything in there. We're very familiar with it. So all the logistics. So, for example, even dealing with regulatory stuff, dealing with the police, the permits, also dealing with the Star. Now they've never worked with us, so you have a whole different level of complexity. Like when I was sending the emails and we're speaking with them on the phone, we said, well, can we organise a meeting and have a walkthrough? And they didn't, because I'm a bit younger, they thought that I wasn't serious. They thought I was just going to muck around and waste their time. And so, like, even as soon as we walked in, like they said, if we're going to go ahead with this, are you guys actually legit? Like, you're going to do it? And we said there was Monique and that was there watching. I said, we're not here to muck around. I said, if we can get all the finer details done, I said we'll sign the contract over the next couple of days. So that whole process took a week till we nutted it out, which was like it was touch and go because we thought, is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? We didn't want to announce anything until it was. And then we agreed on the finer details, got the contract signed just a week and a half ago, then did the announcement. So it's been full steam ahead since then.
How'd you convince them at the end, mate?
Mate, for me, like it was the way I was talking to him. So obviously, they because I've got a bit of experience now in the promotions game, and we'll like just the different things that we're saying, the different questions, and the girl said to me, she goes, "You don't look like you're someone that's going to muck around." And I said, "I'm definitely not." So I said, "You can see by the team." I said, "This is your first time working with us, so we're a very professional team." I said, "We're a small team, but anything that you need, that we're going to do it." So everything that has been great communication, everything's been good, and it's been a lot of work, a lot of back and forth, but we're definitely nearly there, which is amazing.
Take us through the actual night. You got a few big fights on. Take us through them. Get us excited.
Mate, it's going to be an unreal fight card. So we've got 10 pro fights, huge card, and some of these fights are going to be absolute crackers. Like I was looking at them the other day, and I was doing the odds for them. Like I was looking at them and I'm going, mate, these you couldn't separate probably about 6 of these fights. You just don't know which way they're going to go whatsoever. Like it's 50-50, and it's whoever's style is going to be fought, that's who's going to win. And so obviously the first matchup that I made, which I knew was going to be an amazing card, was Shannon O'Connell and Chanel Dargan. And so when we made that fight, because that's been a female fight that a lot of promotions have tried to got in the past. But even Chanel's manager, Camille, who I think you might know, he said, he goes, mate, he goes, I've never seen anyone move quicker in terms of locking in a fight. And I said, if both the parties, and I said, I'll make it happen straight away. So, like I called around probably 8 times on that day just to get that fight done, back and forth with each team and getting it. So
Yeah.
that set the tone for the show. And then so now we've got that. I think we've got 5 title fights. So we've got a couple of amazing girl fights. We've got Arlene Blancow versus Nadia. That's going to be a great fight. And then obviously we've got the Shannon and Chanel. And then a fight that I'm really, really looking forward to. I've been trying to match this fight for ages. On one of my cards is Alex Neyman versus Emiliano, and that's a big Western Sydney fight. Like in terms of Sydney fighters, like these guys, although they don't have huge names nationally, I'm telling you now. I said to both of them, I said, whoever wins this fight is going to become a star on the national level, because both these guys are smaller weight. They're super bantamweights, but they both come to bang. And Emiliano's explosive. Alex has an unrelenting pressure style that he brings the excitement. So even I saw Alex the other day. He goes, "What? Let's see who takes the first backward step." So they're both coming for it. It's going to be an exciting fight, that one. And when I got that made, I've tried to make that on 3 of my shows previously. So to get it done on this one, it was perfect. And then the main event, which has been one of the more talked about fights in Australia over the last years, is Marco Romeo versus Jason Malia, and that's how I had a whole lot of controversy in terms of how that fight got made, in terms of the lead up, because essentially I was dealing with Will Tomlinson nearly a year ago to get that fight on our card. I put the offer in last August, and then there was mucking around on his end, which went back and forth, and he sort of delayed, and so he fumbled the fight. And then so what happened? No Limit came in, and they said, "Do you want to put the fight on my card?" I said, "Well, I don't think that's the right thing to do." Um, at that time, and so they said, "Well, would Marco fight Marley on our card?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Absolutely." I said, I'm all about working with other promotions and getting the fights done." So that fight was scheduled on the last No Limit card on the Tim Zoo undercard. So or that was, sorry, in December that fight was scheduled, and so then that fight fell over just 2 or 3 weeks before the fight. And then Jason Fawcett immediately put his hand up for Marco, and they had a great fight. Unfortunately, Marco just came up short in that one. But mate, I was in the crowd then, and I thought to myself, spoke to Marco after. I said, mate, if you make some little tweaks in your game, in terms of getting it more busy, higher work rate, you're going to be dangerous for a lot of guys in Australia. And I think you can seriously be a proper contender in terms of like not only domestic level, but regionally and even world level. And so from there, like that following day, I end up speaking to Mali's manager, and I put in the offer for that fight again. I said, if you guys want to do it, it's there. So we didn't hear anything back for a while, but then the fight ended up coming back around, and it's fallen on this card. So amazing backstory to it. And I think like the fight's going to deliver on all the hype and build up that it's had already.
I remember watching Jason Malia as a young kid coming up through the amateurs. He was training out of the Collingwood camp, I believe. Cal, I think his name is Cal Bryan. I can't remember now. It's been a long time. He's come up. This fight, I was hearing that he was going in a different direction, so I'm surprised he came back this way. How did you end up convincing them, or was it just purely them just coming back?
Well, mate, it was because we spoken. I spoke to his manager 3 or 4 times, Tony, and so we went back and forth, and he was good to deal with. So I wasn't desperate for the fight. I said if the fight happens, it's meant to happen. It's not meant to happen, and so I sort of put in the.
Oh, we've lost Ricky. Let's try and get him back. It always happens. I mean, he was just getting into this main event, and there was a bit of controversy actually, because I remember at one stage on before the fight, Ricky and Will, they had a bit of an interaction, and they were determining basically who's coming on, who's doing what. And that fight with Malia was a big point actually in that conversation. Ricky, there, mate. His son, we've lost him again, unfortunately. We'll give him a minute. So to see that fight made actually is interesting. I just had thought that there would be a different direction from the Mali camp based off what I was hearing on the ground. Where for some reason we can't seem to get him back on. I'll quickly shoot him a quick text, and then we'll finish the conversation. We're almost there. Yeah. So the night, all in all, I mean, the Stars a massive step up, a huge step up, and for him to go from where he was doing, of course, it's a smaller venue to the Star in a 2.5 week turnaround is huge. So props to Ricky and his team for pulling this off. Let's hope the fights deliver for the fans and it's all worth it for him, because there's looking from the outside in, I don't know the finer details. There's a bit of investment in this show, and you can see it. The Star doesn't come cheap. So Ricky's done a good job. He's the advertising has been awesome. I've been seeing it on the larger international boxing pages. They've really been pushing this fight, and it's been quite impressive actually to see Ricky really stepping it up on all fronts. Not just the venue, but he's actually spending money on the advertising front. A few of those large boxing pages have been covering his fight leading up. It's this week, I believe, the 26th of Feb. The action coming to you live from the Star Casino. It's going to be live on Triller and Fight TV. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure 10 pro fights is a lot of fights. So if you're around, tune in, make an effort to tune in. There's going to be a couple of bangers. Unfortunately, I can't seem to get Ricky back on. But on that note, I will probably just end it. I'll just remind you one more time, February 26th, live on Triller TV. You've got a huge card. Romeo versus Malia, Teixeira versus Naman, Dargan versus O'Connell, which is going to be a big one. Tune in, huge occasion, huge event, and from me, that's all. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. Unfortunately, Ricky, we haven't been able to get him back, but I'm sure we will in the future after the show. Take care, everyone.